So on paper, the Chicago Sky are out of their minds to let Chennedy Carter walk. But that's exactly what's happening, because they could have extended a qualifying offer for her, given, her free agent status. Instead, they declined to, which makes her an unrestricted free agent, which is them telling you they don't want her back.
Breaking news, basketball fans, the Chicago Sky is imploding right before our very eyes, cutting their leading scorer, Chennedy Carter. But hold up, this isn't your Michael roster move. Carter's not going quietly into free agency. She's stirring up drama on her way out.
Considering their lack of scoring and shot creation and what she did last year and her talent, for them to just not want her back and to let her walk is a big statement. It's a big.
You know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And in Chicago, it's looking like a 5-alarm blaze. Carter's been dropping some cryptic tweets destroying Angel Reese that has everyone talking. If your star player is publicly taking shots at teammates, something's seriously wrong in the Windy City. Stick around to find out why Carter is going nuts and why it spells trouble for the Sky. Are you ready? Let's go.
Carter future in the W is not looking good, bro. I think it might just be over for her. Now, with all that being said, I know everybody want to know exactly what transpired online last night, and that's what we finna get into right now. Let's pull up this series of tweets, because the comment section of these tweets is unforgettable.
You know what's wild? The Chicago Sky just cut their leading scorer. Yeah, you heard that right, Chennedy Carter. The player who averaged a whopping 17.5 points per game last season is suddenly out of a job. Talk about a plot twist, right?
So that's a reputation thing around the league. That's not out of nowhere. That's not nothing. And I think it says a lot that the Sky are the latest team to be willing to part with Chennedy Carter, especially considered how talented she is, because she's got skills. There's no.
So why on earth would the Sky let go of a player like that? Well, hold on to your seats, because this is where things get messy. The Sky GM Jeff Polya dropped some hints that there's more to this story than just stats. He talked about Carter's fit on. The team changing now, we all know what that means in sports. Speak right, it's code for Houston. We have a problem.
GM put out a statement basically saying, the fits are going to be different and all that. But all the reporting and the common sense tells you that there were issues behind the scenes with Chennedy Carter, and this is not the first time. That has been the story of her WNBA career. And if someone else is going to give her a chance, it may be her last chance in the WNBA. But so it's almost shocking that it would happen from just a basketball personnel standpoint. But it's not surprising to see Chennedy Carter have a Sky goodbye, given everything else.
And here's what's wild. The Sky aren't just letting Carter walk. They're practically pushing her out the door. Polyoka said they wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent. Translation: we'd rather not have you here. Thanks. Remember when the Sky were on top of the world? Just a few years ago, winning championship and making headlines for all the right reasons. Well, those days seem like ancient history. Now, they've gone from champs to chumps, finishing last season with a dismal 13-win, 27-loss record. That's 5 games worse than the year before, folks. Talk about a nosedive.
She had an incredible season for us last year, says the GM. She's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
So what's really going on behind the scenes? Word on the street is that the locker room was drama. Players were reportedly unhappy with Carter's behavior. And it seems like former coach Teresa Weatherspoon wasn't exactly rushing to address the issue. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck. Isn't it a SCO? But wait, there's more. This whole Carter saga. It's just the tip of the iceberg. We haven't even gotten to the Twitter drama. Yet Carter's been throwing some serious shade, and guess who's in her crosshairs? None other than Angel Reese. Oh, you better believe we're going to dive into that juicy mess in a bit. Alright, let's talk where the problem began. Teresa Weatherspoon, remember her WNBA legend turned coach, who was supposed to take Chicago to the promised land. Yeah, that didn't quite pan out.
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? their best shooter out of town? Because Chennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
You know how sometimes you meet your heroes, and it's a total letdown? That's pretty much what happened with Weatherspoon in the Sky. Instead of creating a championship culture, she turned the locker room into something straight out of Mean Girls. And guess who was her teacher's pet? None other than Angel Reese.
The Chicago Sky franchise has been an absolute dumpster fire since winning the WNBA championship in 2021. Let's go through some of the names that have left. James Wade, who was the coach and GM, left in the middle of the season last year to go to the NBA. Candace Parker, Emma Messman, Courtney Vandersloot, Allie Quigley, Clea Copper was traded, Azura Stevens. And then this year, after drafting Cardozo and Reese, they were competing for a playoff spot and traded Marina Mabrey, their veteran, before they.
When a coach starts playing favorites, things get messy real quick. Weatherspoon gave Reese all the minutes, all the plays, all the love. It was like watching a proud mom at a middle school talent show, except this was supposed to be professional basketball. Meanwhile, the rest of the team might as well have been invisible. You've got players sitting on the bench watching repad her stats, even when they're down by 20. No wonder the team chemistry went down the drain faster than a Reese missed layup.
After a 13-27 season, the Chicago Sky have decided to fire Reese Witherspoon. In the words of Vince McMahon, "You're fired!"
And you know what's even worse? Weatherspoon's coaching style wasn't just annoying, it was downright toxic. Anonymous sources spilled the tea, saying players were fed up with the locker room vibe. It was all about individual glory over team success. Who needs wins when you can have Instagram highlights? Right, and let's not forget about poor Camila Cardoso, the rookie who should have been the Sky next big thing. Weatherspoon couldn't figure out how to use her if her job depended on it. Oh wait, it did.
The league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord.
You'd think a Hall of Famer would know better. But Weatherspoon's playbook seemed to consist of get the ball to Angel and wing it late game situations, more like late game disasters. It's no wonder the players lost respect faster than the Sky lost games.
I can't help but wonder, is that what happened here? Is Angel Reese and the way she wants to play, and I don't know if you've ever noticed her social media post, but she's very me, always. Me. Well, you may have a player that has decided that she's had enough.
The cherry on top of this dysfunction, Sunday, Weatherspoon's complete lack of discipline. By the time she got fired, the damage was done. The Sky had gone from potential contenders to a cautionary tale. So what is Carter now saying about Reese?
The development of Camila Cardoso is an underrated aspect of everything because she didn't really shine last year because Angel got so much love, and that's not a diss. It's just, Cardoso was drafted higher and wasn't there at the beginning of the season, and they're not a perfect mix. So how they balance that, how the new coach balances that is going to be interesting.
Here's the thing about pro athletes. They love to spill the tea on social media. And when it comes to the Chicago Sky, Chennedy Carter just turned up the heat to boiling point. You know those vague tweets that make you go, wait, what's the real story here? Well, Carter dropped a doozy that had everyone connecting the dots faster than you can say layup. Let's break it down. Carter tweeted about the importance of making layups innocent enough, right, wrong. See, Angel Reese had been struggling with layups all season. We're talking a success rate of 42%, the worst in the WNBA. That's not just bad. That's maybe you should try underhand bad. Out of 321 attempts, Reese only managed to sin 136. Ouch.
Chennedy Carter Instagram account right here, guys. And I'm here to tell you, bruh, she's been going on a little rant all night long. Now, this is the tweet right here that kind of sparked everything. She stated, I think the ability to consistently make layups just put anyone in a different tier. So important to score easy. Now, a lot of people is insinuating that this tweet is towards Angel
Now contrast that with Carter's performance. Our girl was nailing more than 60% of her layups. Talk about a not-so-humble brag. It's like showing up to a potluck with a gourmet dish while your teammate brings burnt cookies. But wait, there's more when a fan shared a graphic showing these layup percentages. Carter couldn't resist commenting, translation for those who don't speak Twitter. You nailed it, not going to lie, subtle as a sledgehammer, right?
Like I've been telling y'all, bro. She has been making it her business to sneak this Angel Reese every chance she get. Now, since she's been cut, it look even more obvious. Somebody said, LOL, you ain't down. Now, this tweet right here just popped up here. Somebody tried to come into the defense of her because we know she's a free agent. So, like, if you throw teammates, ex-teammates under the bus, that's going to hurt you even.
Of course, when the speculation started flying, Carter tried to backpedal faster than a defensive guard. She claimed, I just focus on me. That was literally about me. And how special of a craft. It is sure, Chennedy. You know what's wild? This Twitter drama isn't just about two players beefing, it's a symptom of a much bigger problem in Chicago. We're talking locker room, tensions, favoritism, and a team culture that's about as stable as a Jenga tower in an earthquake.
As an organization, we just, felt it was time to make a change. There's just private issues that I think we will keep it just in the Sky locker room.
Remember when Marina Ma got traded to the Connecticut Sun and couldn't wait to be on a championship team or someone that can compete for a championship? Ouch. But she wasn't done later. She praised Connecticut's level of discipline and a level of professionality where players just have to worry about playing basketball. Remember, folks, this is the same Connecticut team that has their practice in front of yoga sessions and birthday parties. And May still thinks this is better than Chicago. Double ouch. It's like she was saying, thank God, I'm out of that dumpster fire.
Marina Mabrey, she's already flown the coop on this team. And it was, quote unquote, because of culture. Well, what happened to the culture? Who torched the culture? Who's selfish on the team that would cause the culture to melt?
You know what they say, actions speak louder than words. But in the case of Marina Ma, her words are speaking volumes about the mess she left behind in Chicago. When a player can't wait to gush about their new team's discipline and professionalism, you know something's seriously wrong with their old squad. But wait, there's more. May didn't stop there. She went on to praise how the Suns' experienced players want to keep a good environment and make sure that they hold people accountable. Ouch. That's not just throwing shade. That's casting the entire Sky organization into total darkness.
There's a level of discipline and a level of professionality here where, the players just have to worry about playing basketball. A lot of things don't get down to the players, and I think that's really good.
Remember Camila Cardoso, the Sky number 3 overall pick in the 20,204 draft? Yeah, turns out she was about as useful to the team as a screen door on a submarine. Reports suggest that Cardoso's potential was completely wasted under the previous coaching regime. Instead of nurturing their top draft pick, the coaching staff was too busy playing favorites with certain players. Guess what happens when you mix a toxic locker room with wasted talent? You get a recipe for disaster that would make even the worst cook on Hell's Kitchen look like a Michelin star chef. The Sky weren't just losing games. They were losing their identity as a professional basketball team.
Obviously, the players here are very experienced and they want to keep a good environment, and they make sure that they kind of hold people accountable for that.
So how does a once proud franchise bounce back from this kind of implosion? Well, it starts with admitting you have a problem. At least the Sky management seems to be taking steps in that direction. GM Jeff Paglia basically admitted that the decision to cut Chennedy Carter loose was influenced by the need for a cultural shift within the team. Let's talk about a team that's doing things right for a change, while the Chicago Sky are busy imploding faster than a building up for demolition. There's a little squad in Indiana that's showing everyone how it's done. You know who I'm talking about, the Indiana Fever.
Were skeptical of joining the Sky. On Wednesday, Pagliata acknowledged the team had heard things along those lines. It's really
Remember when the Fever were the WA's punching bag? Well, guess what? Those days are over. In just one season, they've gone from bottom feeders to playoff contenders. And the best part, they did it without all the drama, Twitter beefs, and locker room meltdowns we've been seeing in Chicago. So, what's their secret sauce? It starts at the top. Fever President Kelly Krakoff isn't messing around. She's all about building a cult culture that lasts, not just chasing quick wins. In her own words, I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball. And you know what I believe?
In sports, it's a big opportunity to be a part of this rising tide that we're all experiencing. Everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all.
But it's not just talk. Head coach Stephanie White is walking the walk. She's created an environment where players feel empowered and accountable. No favorites, no drama queens, just a team of ballers working together to win games. It's like night and day compared to the mess in Chicago. And let's talk about the players. You've got Caitlin Clark leading the charge. But here's the reality. She's not getting special treatment. No stat padding, no preferential plays, just pure, unadulterated basketball brilliance. Clark's bringing her aim, but she's also lifting up her teammates. That fierce competitive combined with her ride or die support for her squad.
About the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever.
That's leadership, folks. But it's not just the Caitlin Clark show. Players like Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Kelsey Mitchell are thriving in this new Fever culture. They're proving that you can have individual brilliance without sacrificing team cohesion. It's like they've cracked the code or something. And you know what happens when you build a winning culture? People want, and the Fever have become a hot destination for free agents. Players across the league are looking at Indiana and thinking, that's where I want to be. It's not about the glitz or the glamour. It's about being part of something special. The Fever's success is making waves beyond just their win-loss record. League officials are taking notice, praising the team's management for their smart moves and positive vibes. They're setting a new standard for how a WNBA team should be run.